Now we're going to replace the standard asset character Ethan with the character that you just created. So the first thing we need to do is take that FBX file you created and put it into the project itself. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new folder in the project panel here. So I'm going to right click on Assets, Create Folder. I'm just going to call it Characters. And now inside of this folder, I'm going to click on it and import new asset. So now it'll bring up a dialog. We need to navigate to your downloads folder. So click on that and then click on your character that should be in there, whether it's downloaded directly from Mixamo or from your Google Drive. So I'll click on that and click import. It may take a few moments depending on how many changes you made or what you've put into your character. So we'll let that boot up. If you get a message that talks about normal map settings, just ignore for now. We're not going to deal with any of that. And now you have your model right here, similar to a prefab. All right, so to make sure that this rig works with the rig that's set up for Ethan, the standard asset, we need to change some properties. So make sure you select it in your characters folder here. And under rig, which is the middle one, we need to change it to humanoid. It's the only option we need to change. We do need to hit apply though to make sure that the changes save. All right, as soon as that's done, we can drag and drop it into the game. So I'm going to drop it right next to Ethan and then hover over the scene view, hit F to zoom in on it. So as you can see, the character we've created, or at least the one I've made, is much taller than Ethan. So I need to rescale him. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the scale tool, which is on the top left, grab the box here, and I'm going to scale him down a little bit. Notice that he did kind of come off the ground here, so I want to make sure that their feet are in the same location. So I'm going to grab the move tool, kind of move them down so they're the same height. And now I've actually made them a little too short. So I'm going to go ahead and scale them back up a little bit. Okay, that seems about right. And now we're going to work on the parenting again. So right now we have the Ethan body, glasses, and skeleton in there. So I'm going to grab our new character, and I'm just going to drag it onto the third-person controller, similar to how we did the main camera. So now he is now a child of the third-person controller, but he's not in the right location. So we're going to reset the transform, or his position, and that'll move him right on top. So we click the gear in that component, reset position. All right, now that looks kind of funny, where they're put together here. So at this point, we are allowed to delete the Ethan stuff. So we don't need his body. I'm just going to click on it, hit delete on the keyboard. If it gives you a message about breaking the prefab instance, that's fine. Just click continue. Alternatively, you can right click and just hit delete. That does the same thing. So by getting rid of that, we now just have our character in place. And if you click on the main camera, still have that same view. A couple things we need to do in controller. We have the avatar. This is still using the Ethan's skeleton or his rig. So what we need to do is click on the circle here and choose our avatar. So by clicking your characters, it gets rid of all the messages. I don't know if you saw that over here on the right side. All right, that gets rid of that. So now all of the animation will work with this rig. All right, let's go ahead and give it a playtest. And there we are. Our character is animating with all of Ethan's animations. So everything looks similar. His run, the jump. Now that I look at my character, the body doesn't seem to fit the rest of the, or his torso doesn't seem to fit the rest of his body. But that's okay. Can always go back and change that later. Hold down the shift. Okay, so all the animations seem to be working and we're not getting any errors down in the console. Last step, save, and we're good to move on to the next tutorial.